course, if you have questions, you can always ask me, as we go on. So this is the research that I did in Massachusetts. It was a 5-year, well, I was a student then, but I was hired as a research fellow. So basically I worked with a group of researchers, and my chair was the principal investigator for that grant. She got a grant, Title II grant, and with that grant we were able to help in-service and service teachers to get their masters. And my job as an advanced doctoral student was to help the teachers collect data for their own research and help them analyze them. So that was part of my job. And I was also required to go into their classroom, observe what they were doing, and give them feedback based on my previous teaching experience and also what I was learning as a doctoral student. So that was my job. And I was very privileged to be given the opportunity to work with teachers. With that, enabled me to sort of bridge the gap between what I was learning in the classroom setting and what was happening in school. So you can learn about all those theories, but if you don't have the chance to sort of try out some of them in a classroom setting or whatever setting that may be, then it may not make sense to you or much sense to you. So the data I'm going to be sharing with you are from that project. Okay, I have tons of data, and I'm still, believe it or not, even though it's been a while, it's been 5 years now, I'm still drawing on that data to write periodical because there was so much. Anyway, so that's.
Where was this at?
That was in Massachusetts. That was in Western Massachusetts, which I'm about to talk a little bit about. So basically, the focus of this study, I mean, again, like I said, I collected so much. I mean, I spent 5 years. You need to understand, I spent 5 years doing that. Although I was hired, I was paid for 4 years, but because I enjoyed it so much, I continued. Eventually, the money grant was gone. So I continued working with teachers because I enjoyed it so much. And that's how I was able to collect data from my session as well at the same time. So, and for this research particularly, I was looking at the role that parents play in student achievement. And I also look at the role that teachers' expectations. Because when you have teachers that do not set high expectations for you, you may not do as well. Okay, so the teachers that I work with, they were predominantly Puerto Ricans, and there was one who was Chicana. She was born and grew up in Texas, and she lived there most of her adult life, and she got divorced, and she decided to move to Western Massachusetts, where one of her daughters was living. And when she moved there, she got a job as a teacher, and I was able to work with her in that project. So basically, for this research, I was looking at what role do parents and teachers play in student achievement. So the study took place, it was at a middle school in Western Massachusetts. There were about 1,225 students that were going to the school. At the time of the study, obviously, there might be more or less. And 70% of them were Latinos. And when I say Latinos, this is an unregular term because when you say Latino, it's really, now I would not say big but broad. A Latino can be a Mexican, can be a Cuban, it can be a Puerto Rican. But they were mostly Puerto Ricans. There were a few Dominicans who were at the school. And 250 of them were in exclusive ELL programs. And of course, many of them were part of the special education. And I must add, there were many of them that I felt, based on my observation, were misplaced. remember, there are many people who, due to a lack of awareness or knowledge, when I say people, I'm referring to teachers and school principals, who sometimes end up misplacing students based on the perception of them. They would just assume that the fact that they are experiencing a temporary language barrier, they would assume that all those kids must need special education, which sometimes not the case, okay? But that's the data, so I go by the data. So, like I said, the overarching goal that I set for the study was to investigate the ways and the extent to which school and parental resources, when I say parental resources in this context is defined as being getting the support from your parents, okay? We need to understand that in some communities, what we would not consider resources are actually resources. If you have parents who somehow affiliated with the church, and they get help from church members, that's a resource in itself, right? And there are some communities where people who are the older members of these communities feel it's important for them, it's their duty to help those who are younger. And that's a resource in itself. So resource here is not necessarily material resources, but also human resources, okay? So that needs to be clear. And I also wanted to know what kind of support that the student that I was working with got from the parents, from the community as a whole, which enabled them to succeed. And I also focus on the teachers themselves. So there are two people that I look at, the teachers and the parents. That's what I did.
What was the motivation of the students? Did all of these students really want to succeed, or were some just, I don't care about school?
I'll get to that point.
Okay.
Because if I tell you now, then it won't make any sense for me to go to this side. I will get to your point, but don't forget, I'm going to answer your question. Please hold on. That was part of the findings, okay?
Okay.
So the research question that I came up with for the study was, what was the nature of one's? One was one of the focal students I work with. Focal student I focused on him. I started with 4 students, which I'm going to explain later. And he was the only one who ended up staying at the school. 3 of them moved out. They went to another school. So I wanted to know how Ron grew over time in terms of his literacy skills, particularly his writing skills, and what resources that he drew on to succeed, because he was recognized as an achiever at the middle school. Now, what resources that were made available to him that enabled him to succeed? Well, as you will find out in a little bit. So, and of course, when you're doing a study, like I said in class, you have to draw the literature. You have to have a conceptual framework. You cannot just make up things. You cannot just imagine things. You have to show that you understand the literature, and you have to figure out what conceptual framework you're gonna use to enhance to help you with your research. So for this study, I drew on sociocultural theory, and Vygotsky is one of the writers that I really whose work I really admire, because he helps me understand how language, culture, socially situated. Okay. So I drew on sociocultural theory, and I also drew on family literacy theory because, like I said, I was interested in finding out what support these students got from their families, from their parents. So because the focus of my study was on language / culture and family and teachers, so I had to make sure that I used the most appropriate conceptual framework. So there, like I said earlier, there were 4. I started with 4 students. Pedro. By the way, those are not real names. I just said the names, right? Mm-hmm. I started with Pedro, Maria 1, and Jose. Initially they were involved in the study. 3 of them, except 1, they moved to neighboring schools. So therefore, because of the distance, they decided to go to the school where they decided to go to the school in a new neighborhood, right? But one who didn't have to move continued going to that school. So I followed him throughout the study, and when you said you were gonna do your study on one person, that's perfectly okay. You can follow someone all along. Yes.
What would you have done if one had moved also? Would you have started over?
Then I would be stuck. I would be screwed. I'd be screwed. I mean, if you start with 4 students, it depends on where you are. If it's in the beginning of the semester, you have a choice. Then what I would have to do, it would be more work for me. I would have to go to the school where.
But then the factors change because you got different
Teachers. Well, it would be challenging because the thing is, we talk about that in this class. To establish a relationship with the school is not easy. Even you may have an insider, someone that you know, who can sort of facilitate the process for you. But if you don't know anyone, you just go to the school, hey, I'm interested in doing this. It's hard. But luckily, one did not move out. So I decided to follow him throughout for 3 years. But you're right, had all of them moved out, then I would have to make a decision whether I should follow them follow them at the new school, or find other students to work with. But it all depends on what stage you are at. There's a beauty in that though. If they want to leave the school and I decided to follow them, that's very good though. That would make my research richer, maybe stronger. Follow them from school A to school B. But that will require a lot of work. And it depends on where you are. Sometimes it may not be possible.
And if at school B, they don't get those resources, and then they don't thrive.
Then you should be focused.
Yeah.
This is why you have to be flexible. It's exhausting. You have to be flexible when you are doing research. You cannot be, yes, you have to be flexible. Yeah. So, luckily, one did not move out. So I was able to follow him. Follow him for like 3 years actually.
And if you'll accept a bad pun, if you know one, you know them all.
No, not necessarily. You cannot.
If you've seen one, you've seen them all.
You cannot see that way. Because everybody is at their own.
Great pun, yeah.
Struggle. Anyway, Ron was recognized at the school as an achiever in the school based on three major criteria.
Yeah.
He was doing well with his writing, reading, and speaking skills, but he also scored high on one of the standardized tests. Compared to his classmates, he scored higher. So the school, based on those criteria, to claim that he was an achiever. But remember, achievement is very contextual. I may be an achiever in the school, and then I move from this school to another school, and I'm not considered an achiever.
Mm-hmm. Was his arithmetic pretty good too? Was his mathematics pretty good too?
I did not focus on that. I focused mostly on the reading and writing. And the test that he took, it was reading and writing test.
Okay.
The math I did not focus on it. And he also took, even though Spanish is his first language, but he took a Spanish class that was designed for native speakers of Spanish. So I actually observed in that class. But math, I did not observe in this math class, so I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
So I also interviewed one's mom. Like I said, that was part of my focus. I wanted to see what role his parents, particularly his mom, played in this achievement. And I worked with 3 teachers who were his teacher, Miss Vanessa, Yolanda, and Rosa. Miss Vanessa was the one that I told you who was born in Texas and moved to Western Massachusetts. Yolanda and Rosa, they were Puerto Ricans. What job? And we were born here. So in terms of data, I was a participant observer in the study. Now, what does that mean when you say you are a participant observer? From what you would call, what does that mean? I don't want to say what it is because you should know better.
Yeah, you will join in. You're not just going to be a fly on the wall. You're going to be an active participant.
Right.
That way you gain Juan's trust.
Right.
And he's willing to talk to you.
Okay. Would you agree with this definition?
Yeah, and then you also, you gain the teacher's trust also, right? Because like he's saying, you also help if you need to help students or become part of the learning environment.
Right.
Dr.
All right.
said that
So basically,